What's up, everybody? uh, I know it's been probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks, probably longer since I've uploaded really anything. It's definitely been longer than that since I've put paint on lures. But hopefully y'all are doing well and everybody's, getting back into the swing of the school year and all that kind of jazz. So hope you guys are staying blessed. It's good to be back. However, there is a couple caveats with that statement. Before we get too far into it though, what I really wanted to kind of get out of the way is sorry that I've been gone. I know that there's, no real obligation for me to, post content and stuff. Like, it's not my job. It's not something I have to do. But it's something I enjoy doing a lot, and I haven't been doing it at all, really. And had about a year where, I was doing pretty good. But then obviously the move down to South Carolina happened, and we were in an apartment, and then we moved into the house, and one thing led to another. And then the biggest reason why there hasn't been any content recently is because of this, and I'll post some pictures up. But something pretty awesome happened in August of this year. I got selected to be a Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, which is kind of a big deal, but also, not something that I ever really, strived for. But nonetheless, I'm honored and blessed to have been selected and accepted into, the Chiefs mess. It was a great experience, and that whole thing is kind of dwindled down now, essentially. It was 6 weeks of training and preparation and everything else, and I was working like probably 18-hour days for 6 weeks. So it took a lot of my time. Even on the weekends, there were things that we were going to do to where I was lucky if I got a day off over the weekend. So, it is what it is. It's over. But now we kind of get to another major hurdle. My new job is kind of right now at the point where I'm still learning it. So I'm still putting in a lot extra time that I really didn't expect to be putting into it. And that's fine. It's part of, the job, literally. But with all the time I'm spending at work now, it's kind of, made me reevaluate and realign how I spend my time when I'm at home. And there's a lot of things I wish I could do. I wish there was more than 24 hours in a day, but there isn't. And all this kind of to pretty much say that I will not be painting lures for the foreseeable future. It's one of those things where if I have time, I might pull out all the stuff and do it, but I just, for the most part, don't have the time. And it sucks a lot. It really sucks, especially because I have a sketchbook. It's like 75 pages, and I think right now it's almost full of, future designs that I had been planning. If I had a minute, I would just sit down and start, penning stuff in and working on it that way. But I don't have the time right now. And the straw that kind of really broke the camel's back was the weather down in South Carolina, if you don't know, is muggy. It's super humid. The heat isn't really a problem. It is 100% the humidity. And right now I'm actually filming this in my garage, and doors shut. It's pretty not that bad out right now, but especially like during the high summer months, like June, July, August, it is so humid outside, and without a climate controlled space to do the painting in, it just was clogging up the gun. It was ruining the paint. So I looked for about a month at sheds and getting sheds installed, and finally found a company that I liked. They had a really good product. I went and looked at it, and I was gonna actually have my own workshop on the side of my house that I was gonna be able to set up all my painting stuff in and, you know, actually paint lures in it. I was gonna put a little mini split up in it as well, so that way it's cool in the summer. And then in the winter, it does get a little bit chilly, so we were gonna actually be able to heat it as well. Fast forward to the end of last week, they were about to deliver it, and I called because they had sent over a new contract for me to sign. And of course, I did what everybody does. I was just like, yep, sounds good, and then signed it. Turns out that the shed was completely pre-assembled and couldn't fit it in the back of my yard. Right now, I only have like about a 10-foot gap between my property fence, like the fence on the side of my property, and my garage. And I would have had to have taken out the entirety of that fence connecting the two just to get the shed back there. And I was like, hey, is there any way you can just like take the walls and roof off? Like, can we order it and, you know, I'll put it together myself? And they were like, no, we can't do that. It includes complete delivery. And I was like, well, that sucks. So canceled that order and then called another 6 different companies, all of them saying that they could not take it apart. And I was really tempted to just, you know, go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get one of those cheapo sheds and just try to do that. But between everything that I've kind of talked about right now, it just does not, it's just not really a possibility right now, unfortunately. It really, really, really sucks. And, you know, just one of those things that I got too comfortable with it. You know, I let it kind of control a major portion of my life, especially my home life. And considering I have, you know, a regular job, I'm not on a ship anymore. I have a regular job that takes between 9 to 10 hours a day. Yeah, it really sucks. With all the doom and gloom out of the way, the plan is to stop painting lures. My plan is to not stop the channel, right? I occasionally have a chance to, you know, go fishing or sit in my garage and record something, and that is 100% the full intention of doing so. Basically, what my plan is going to be is I'm going to review tackle, right? I love doing the mystery box videos, and those actually are what get me a significant amount of the views on my channel. So I'm gonna keep doing stuff like that, keep reviewing baits. And then essentially what the plan is going to be for the Patreon is it is going to drop from the, you know, $20 lure of the month, whatever, down to a $5 subscription. That $5 subscription will get you a whole bunch of things. Number one, it will give you early access to videos. So the plan right now is I will be able to still fit in a video once a week. And the plan is still going to be for them to be Sunday nights. If you subscribe to the Patreon for $5, what that does is give you the chance to watch that video 2 days early. They'll be ready on Fridays. In addition, what that's going to let you do is same thing as before, the automatic, you know, entries into giveaways. And that is going to be the only way that you can win any of the stuff that I review. Right now, it's just getting a little bit hectic with, you know, Google Documents and some of my videos starting to get more and more views. It's just a difficult way for me to try to run it. And until, you know, I hit a certain milestone, the YouTube member, like the channel members, that's going to be my goal. Once we hit the point where I can have members on the channel, then what I'm going to do is plan to transition the Patreon to that. or just run them in tandem if that's what people want. Now, at no point do I expect any of you guys to actually, you know, give me your hard-earned money, especially because I'm just going to be sitting at a table here reviewing. But I still, you know, I'm going to have to buy tackle and everything. So it's just one of those things where if I can get a little bit of help with that, it would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, this video is probably all over the place. And I apologize if this seems like I keep looking at like viewfinder and it's a very moody picture, which I didn't really mean it to be. I have one of the first things I did when I moved into this house was it had those like really crappy like dome lights in the garage. And there were 2 of them for a giant 2-car garage. So I replaced them with LEDs and they're super bright. So like right now I have my ring light up here, which is why that's bright as the sun. And then I actually have the little crappy garage door opener lights on, and that's all the light that I have. So hopefully it's not too gloomy. I might have to do some, you know, color adjustments post. But yeah, that's really all I have. Again, I apologize for, you know, not posting any sort of updates or anything. And I'm super, super sorry for, you know, the bad news of no more lures. The situation right now is somewhat temporary. So hopefully in the future, if you guys stick around long enough, you'll be able to see me paint lures again. But anyways, I hope y'all are doing well. I appreciate you for sticking around and, you know, supporting me through everything. Please do me a favor. If you haven't already, go ahead down into the description. Go ahead and check out that Patreon. By the time you see this, it will be fully updated already. If you guys could just subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we're at like 300 something right now. So should be doable, you know, should be doable. But anyways, yeah. Thank you guys for all your support and make today the best day that you can. God bless.